Selecting in Revit is quite common to like in other programs. We have some advice on the left bottom of the interface. Click to select, tap for alternate, Control S, Shift unselect. So to practice it, I will use zoom region to zoom the part of the building, and if I move my cursor, you can see on any element it's highlighted by blue color. So this is a pre-selection in Revit. It's not any selection. If I mark any other element in Revit, it's only pre-selected. To select any element, I must click on it, and then I have it all blue field color, and property palettes confirm that I have select furniture, chair launch family. Here I have the quantities of it, so it's 1. If I hold the control button of my keyboard, I have plus symbol next to my cursor, and I can mark another chair. As you can see, in my property palette, I can change any instance values for these elements. For example, I can change the elevation from level, set here offset 10 from the position of the level, or I will deselect now one of this chair. I have marked only one chair, and for this chair I will change the selection for 0. What I want to show you that if I, by clicking the control and select another chair, now you can see the value of elevation from level is empty. So this is a quite good hint that when the parameter values are different from each other, there is an empty space in the form. As I remember good, in Revit 2021, set values as a value. But I am creating our training on Revit 2020 version, so here I still have a blank version. So I can really change for all the chairs elevation from level 0, even if I have here empty values, no problem. Now each chair have elevation from level 0. Next thing which I would like to tell you about is using tab in the selection. So when I move my cursor next to the wall, and for example I want to mark the grids of the wall. If I move my cursor to it, as you can see, wall is highlighted all the time, even if I move the cursor next to the grid. But if I use the tab button, I change the pre-selection. Now we can see that Revit marked me 2 walls, so it marked me the chain of the walls in which this first one wall exists. I will click tab one more time, and this is still not what I wanted, and by clicking it 2 more times with tab, I see that highlighted grid A1 is now correct. So I can select it, and I have my grid name A1. So before I click on it, I just move my cursor, and by choosing tab, Revit choose the other elements which are in the same place or almost in the same place. It's very common to use tab to select the chain of the walls. For example, I have here the chain of the chimneys. To select bedroom walls, move the cursor over one of these walls, click tab. Revit confirmed me that I have marked 4 walls, not 3 walls. That's why, because there is this wider wall under gabarit for this toilet. So I will deselect it by using Shift button, and I have my 3 walls. Confirmation on my property palette that these walls are a interior wall bathroom 117 millimeters. So I can change for them, for example, choose another type for this wall. I will click escape to not do this, but I can change wall or check same constraint as well. To exit it, you can click on modify, but more simpler way is click escape on your keyboard. Next tips I would like to show is a multi-select, which is hidden under the right button of your mouse. I will select this chair launch, and with click on the right button of mouse and select all instances visible in view or in entire project. This is quite useful tool which allows you to finish the project and check if all the parameters are the same. So I will select all instances visible in view. So this is gonna be all the chairs which are on the first floor. And here you can see that I have blue highlighted 5 chairs in this view. I will cancel the selection by escape and click one more time for this chair, and with the right button of the mouse select all instances, and this time let's choose in entire project. And now you can see that we have here a quantities of furniture 38 elements. All the values of parameters are blanked, what means that they all are different. But for example, we can mark them, for example, to our furniture schedule with chair 1. And now Revit informs me that elements have duplicated marked values. I will click OK. This is something what I wanted. And I have now a confirmation that all these chairs in the project, even on the 5th floor if I go, have a mark chair 1. So I will click on this chair. It's in the group, so I must go to the edition of the group. And if I choose it, the mark is chair 1 for this chair. I will cancel it and close the 5th floor. Another selection tips is selecting by region in Revit. So to select many elements, we can select them from left top to right bottom. And now elements are selected only when all the elements are in our selecting region. So for example, look at this chair right here. To select it, I must go with my region over it. And the same with every element. For example, to select this wall, I must go with my region for all the wall. And if we start to select with region from right bottom to left top, I must just only touch with my region the element to select it. So this way, when I cross the couch, I have already selected. So let's select this time many elements. You can see I have many elements highlighted. In my property palette, I can see that I have chosen 150 elements. So it's quite big, but now I can go to the filter, which is hidden in several places in Revit. First places is on the ribbon. So when you select any of elements, always filter will be showed in the modify context ribbon. And if you click here, you have the list of all the elements you have selected. You can check none and, for example, select walls. We have 18 elements, but including walls, we can include also windows and window tags. So this is a very fast tool to change many constraints. And one more time, I can go to the filter, but this time I will choose the filter which is hidden right over here. It's the same tool. So I click here. And now I will deselect window tags and windows to select only walls. And my property palettes now can be changed for all these walls, and I can change the type for this wall, location line, base offset, top constraint, or top offset, or many other elements. To deselect this wall, simply press Escape on your keyboard or Modify on your ribbon. Thank you for your attention.